The wife of the Orlando gunman who killed 49 people at a gay nightclub in Orlando could be facing charges in connection with the attack, according to reports. Prosecutors have convened a grand jury to investigate Noor Salman, the wife of the gunman Omar Mateen. To clarify, this is the more recent partner, right? You may have seen the ex-wife who's on record now as saying, yeah, this guy beat me and I thought he was gay. That's not who I'm talking about here. I'm now talking about the more recent partner of the shooter, Omar Mateen. She reportedly told police that she actually tried to talk her husband out of attacking the Pulse nightclub, which certainly suggests she knew what his plans were. Quoted prosecutors said that they were seeking to charge her as an accessory to 49 counts of murder and 53 counts of attempted murder, as well as with failure to warn authorities about the impending attack. It was possible that Mateen actually called his wife from inside the club while the killings were taking place. And U.S. media has now been reporting that Noor Salman went with Omar Mateen to buy the ammunition and also brought him to Pulse nightclub on previous occasions because he wanted to survey it. She has also reportedly completely scrubbed her social media history. Well, we can come up with a number of reasons why she would do that, even if there was not some kind of accessory guilt there. We have done this as an audience question, Lewis, right? When would you turn in a friend or a loved one? Are there situations where you wouldn't? This is a whole other can of worms now that has been opened up, and many people pointing to this and saying, look, this is the problem. The problem is people are not willing to say something. And we actually have data which tells us, by and large, people, including Muslims, the stereotype that we often hear from the right is, we need more surveillance at mosques because the Muslims aren't going to rat on each other. The data, which we will present to you next week, suggests that that's not the case. But this is a very unique example anyway. I don't know, whatever the truth ends up being about Omar Mateen's wife in this particular case, I don't know that it tells us much about any broad conclusions we can draw.
No, it's much easier to talk, though, when it's not a family member.
Sure.
So I can understand her hesitation, perhaps being in denial. But if everything you've said so far is true, all those details about her even helping purchase the ammunition, survey it, yeah, let's throw the book at her.
At what point, if someone you were in a relationship with started doing what you thought was some preparation for an attack, at what point do you go to authorities? I mean, wouldn't there be a tendency immediately? Wouldn't there be a tendency to think, hold on a second, this is something that I can talk sense into my partner about. They're not really going to do anything. I'm going to tell them this is crazy, well, and they're not going to do it.
First of all, if I'm with someone who even starts entertaining the idea of doing something like that, they are immediately no longer my partner.
Right. Lewis has ended countless relationships for far less than plotting mass murder.
Far less, and rightfully so.
Yeah. Cigarettes will get Lewis to end a relationship with you.
Yeah. So anyway, of course, that would happen immediately. And would it change if I were married to the person?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think so.
Rachel, I mean, do you want to weigh in on this? What behavior on the behalf of a partner would make you say, this goes beyond anything I can handle, I need to call authorities at this point?
I think if I have any kind of inclination that someone wants to threaten another person's life, I would kind of start to try and take measures to either remove myself from being associated with them or maybe also help them, because I feel like there's a lot of underlying mental health issues that need to be addressed, because it doesn't seem to me that someone who is fully mentally intact could be capable of doing something like this.
Yeah, and we often have that conversation too, right? Which is, well, when we even think about the concept of when these individuals don't end up dead and we think of prosecuting, a natural reaction is, this person is clearly mentally ill. Even though religion and radicalization were a factor, even though ready access to guns was a factor, whatever, no one who is, quote, sane could commit such an act. But then we get into the distinction between, did they understand the consequences of their actions versus were they unbalanced to the point that they would actually be declared unfit for trial? And that's a distinction that also is important to make when thinking about the prosecution of such individuals, which in this case doesn't matter because the guy's dead.
Yes. So, of course, some of these people need potent drugs, and these actions might not take place. Others, I don't know. Hard to tell. But the mental health aspect is there.
Well, Lewis
there.
and Rachel would report them immediately and would cease to have any kind of romantic relationship or otherwise. And I believe it. I have no reason to think either of them is lying. Why
What
would
about
they?
you?
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah, of
immediately.
course.
Yeah. No. I mean, can we all really say that for sure? None of us has
You
actually.
put him in handcuffs yourself and bring him to the station.
Yeah. I think it's similar to when you say, if I was on a plane that got hijacked, I would do X, Y, or Z. Do any of us really know exactly what we would do? I don't know. I'd like to think we do. We'll take a break. Plenty more after this.
GameFly is sort of like Netflix for video games. They have over 8,000 new and classic games for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, Wii, and a bunch of other platforms. And you can play as many games as you want for one monthly fee. And if you find some games you want to keep, you can buy them for a low used price. There's never any due dates or late fees. And our audience can get a free 30-day trial at gameflyoffer.com/TDPS. The games are shipped directly to you with return envelopes included. There's no contracts, and you can rent games through the mobile app. Get the free 30-day trial for the David Pakman Show audience and support our show by going to gameflyoffer.com/TDPS.